And we are live. How's it going, everybody? On today's Financial Fitness Friday, we're going to talk about actually building wealth, right? We've touched on this a lot, but it's definitely worth repeating because so many people get it wrong. I think the average person thinks that when everything's ideal, that's when they're going to start investing. When everything's ideal, that's when they're going to put more into savings. And the reality, guys, is we never have an ideal right time to start. And that's whether you're starting a business, starting a family, start saving, start investing. There's never that ideal time, right? And so what I like to focus on and what I think has helped me is, I had certain saving habits when I was making $30,000 a year. And I built and carried and added to those habits when I was making way more money. Right. And I've always had those habits, and those habits have been able to help me live a certain type of lifestyle now. And they're not hard to do. They're not hard to put in. Like if I was doing it when I was making $30,000 a year, I'm sure you guys can implement this. Dave, what are your thoughts on just what we kind of went over, bro?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time, whether it's on Financial Fitness Friday or Mindset Monday, but you said that critical word in there, man. That's habit, right? You create the habit, start off even small. You said something interesting, 30 grand a year. A number is just a number, but it's about taking that action, creating that habit, turning that habit into a discipline. And when you get that down, it's part of almost a daily routine, weekly routine, some type of routine. Okay, I get X amount of dollars. I'm going to create the habit, put it over here, right? Take it in reverse. I tell people all the time when they're speaking to me about credit or, what do I do about paying stuff? It's like, look, auto pay is your best friend when you're paying bills. So even if it's something, and I always say, do it for the minimum, right? It's better to have as a protection barrier. You'd rather pay something than nothing at all if you're somebody who forgets a lot of stuff. Same thing with creating this habit of investing. Set a minimum. So that way, at least, okay, I did something. Yes, I didn't create the habit. Yes, I didn't remember to take X amount of dollars. Maybe I'm a commission paid structure to where my salary varies every week, so I don't know what I'm going to get. Maybe I had a really bad month. My money's really low, but at least something small that's doing it automatically. There are tools out there to kind of set it and forget it, but you also still want to keep attention on it. Let's not forget that either.
Well, here's what I would say, right? What's the breakdown? What's the basic formula? How do we make this so simple anyone can do it? Well, one, you have to spend less than you make. Okay. That means living below your means. And a lot of people aren't comfortable there. I'm very comfortable there, like insanely comfortable there. In fact, I only spend money on investments, experiences, and unfortunately, I have this horrible habit of fucking loving boats. So fuck me, man. So the boat gets me, right? And the truck, you could say. But I've earned it, and I've gotten to a certain point where it's inconsequential because of the systems and the habits that I'm trying to teach you guys now. I mean that, right? So what does this look like? If you're making $50,000 a year, right? We always go off what your weekly is. Let's talk about this. If you're making $50,000 a year, or let's say 100's, I think more in line. If you're making 100,000 a year, your fixed costs shouldn't be more than like 25, 30 grand. So that means your home expenses should be like, 30,000. Okay. 2,500 a month. What do you look up, Dave?
United States median income is $39,982 as of 2023.
Oh, okay. I'm way off base then. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think maybe we're a little out of touch. might have to travel the rest of the country, man.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's talk about just use the same metrics. Okay. If it's 100, you want 30% to be fixed, right? Then your variable cost, what's that? Like food, clothing, like the stuff that you need, you want to keep that at 25%. So you're spending half of your money on things that you absolutely need, right? And then you make it so you can save half of your money and then invest half of your money. Okay. And what I've always done, like Dave said, auto pay, well, you can have like weekly withdrawals or weekly transfers from account to account. If you set up and you want to buy digital assets, right, you can have weekly buys come out of your account. Same thing with stocks. I can't tell you how long I still have weekly buys coming out every single week, right? And I don't touch any of this. I really don't. It just sits there, right? And I watch the investments grow. And by doing that, that's how you build wealth. Like there's really no other way, guys. I mean, you could invest, right? But you're not going to save your way to wealth. Like you have to invest in things that you know and that are going to appreciate over time. The only way to do that is to spend way less than you're making now, save that and do weekly investments, right? If you do it weekly and you do it automated, you're taking the hard part out. I mean that.
Yep.
Dave, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, spot on, man. I think at the end of the day is when you start, you really got to get a baseline of where you're at and what you have left over. And these things can change. Money can come and go. And I think people forget that sometimes.
Fuck. Dave, absolutely. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You guys think like this stuff is permanent,
No.
right? How much money you have is permanent. We talk about it, but like 3 years ago, dude, Dave knows this kind of. I almost lost everything. It was 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah, we had a rough patch. You know that too. It was crazy.
Yeah. But this is what I mean. Like everyone thinks it's like you set it. You don't like you. Here's the cool thing though. When you lose it, you can make it back in no time. When you lose it, you now learned a massive lesson on what not to do, right? Over the last 5 years, I have had a $600,000 loss, a $700,000 loss, $100,000 loss, and a bunch of ones that would probably add up to about another 200,000. Okay, from various investments. Some were fucking fraud. Okay. One was a gym investment that was absolutely terrible. All right. I learned so much in the last 5 years. I mean that. Okay. And you know what the main thing I've come to realize is only invest in things that you absolutely know and that you can control. Okay. And other than that, there's no passive investing. There really isn't.
No, because you have to keep your eyes and your attention on it at all times. You can't set it and forget it. And then if you have somebody who's a fraudster or somebody scummy coming in, yeah, it's easy to rug pull your ass real quick.
Dude, absolutely. But you know what, Dave? We learned so much from these, right? And some of those losses I'll recover, like the 700 that's in a lawsuit right now. I should get that back, right? The 600's gone. But had I not gone through these experiences, I would not have been where I am today, right? Yeah, maybe I may have a little bit more money, maybe not. But the lessons that I've learned and that I carry everywhere have made me a much better operator. They made me a much better person. And that's undeniable, right? And so I think like we grow through pain and these painful experiences. But if you can take and learn from our mistakes, right, and our lessons, you'll hopefully you don't have to step on as many landmines, right?
Right. And I think also on the flip side, which obviously the unknown, right? There's only two sides, right? There's the past and the future, because the present, it's already done. It's already into the future. So because you've had those learning lessons, those experiences, probably learns a couple of skill sets, even though they're shitty times. I'm sure there's some skills and some other habits that you learn. But on the flip side, looking ahead, man, you just don't know. Some of that stuff could set you up to where those big losses will eventually equate to a big payday. That one opportunity, that one chance meeting, that one new investment, to where it's like, oh shit, man, this is all worth it. Taking those lumps.
Exactly. Well, guys, listen, we appreciate you. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care, guys.
Be great, y'all. Ding, 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 ding.